Hello my friends and weirdos. It's been a while since I made my last graphic novel haul video, and well, I felt like it was time now. So let's start out with curse words. I bought this when I was at Copenhagen Art Bubble, I think it's called, festival, and I met Mike Mignola and got his autograph on a poster with Hellboy in Copenhagen. Really cool. I will show you, but it's behind the camera, so it's too much work. Yeah, well, moving on. Kill or Be Killed, Volume 2. And I'm getting a bit behind on this series because Volume 3 is out, I think. Always a great pleasure reading Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' work. It's Omegamin, Volume 1, by Tom King and Barnaby Bagenda. And I think the art is really cool in this, but I haven't finished it yet. But well, it's kind of hard to read, I think. Let's continue with this. Jack Kirby, Fourth World Omnibus, and I love Jack Kirby's art. That's mostly why I bought this, because I know this old stuff is rather hard to read because they are kind of silly, so I'm keeping to just watching the art. Really nice. I got it really cheap as well. It was kind of amazing. And then I got this Batman Noir by Eduardo Rizzo, and this is the deluxe edition. Got this really cheap as well, so I couldn't pass on that opportunity. Really cool art. Haven't read it yet though, but I will. It kind of reminds me about of Frank Miller art. Yeah, it's a lot like Frank Miller. Well, seems cool. And let's move on. Got this really cheap as well, Bouncer. And it's by Jodorowsky and Buek. And it's a Humanoids production, and Alexander Jodorowsky is one crazy motherfucker, and I always love reading his stuff. And if you haven't, you got to see the documentary Dune by Jodorowsky. I think it's called like that. Well, just Google Dune and Jodorowsky and you probably will find the documentary. It's really, really good. And Jodorowsky is such a great person. Great personality. And then I got this Power Pack Origin album, and it's by Simonson, Brigman and Wishick. And I got this because they were my childhood heroes. I just loved everything with Power Pack, and I imagined myself getting their powers, and yeah, well, I tried to read this, but it is not that good as it was when I was a kid, so I just stopped, and I'm keeping my fantasies instead of destroying them. Moving on, Aliens Dead Orbit. This is actually really cool. I read this just a few minutes ago, and it's not the best art. It's James Stokoe who has made the art, and I'm not a big fan of it, but it works really well when, especially when he makes these splatter scenes. I think they are crazy good. One thing that really annoys me is that every time I'm reading an alien comic, it seems like they're just repeating themselves all over and over again. It's just the same old story in a different... No, nothing is different, it's just the same old story. And that kind of bums me out. I think there should be a lot more fantasy to it. You should really play around with aliens, I think. And then we're moving on. XMen Grand Design by Ed Piskor. This is the greatest thing you can find right now. It is so cool. If you have grown up with XMen comics from the 70s and 80s, and yeah, well, those older comics, this book is kind of like a honoring of those childhood memories, because he is pointing out every great storyline through the ages, and it begins with how Charles Xavier was born, and about his parents, and then it's, well, just read this because it's really cool, and it's not like the usual Marvel stuff, because this is actually a lot bigger yeah, well, it's bigger than the usual format, and it's kind of small, but it's really, really cool. It's like done in this vintage kind of way, with brownish paper, really nice. And if you have read Hip Hop Family Tree books, then you know what's coming, because that's Ed Piskor in a nutshell. It's kind of like he has a lot of fun with the characters, as well as he tells this history of XMen. So I just thought this was the coolest thing. Really nice. It's like in the comic. It's like Marvel has given a indie comic writer a full power to make his own comic within the Marvel universe, and it's really it's the best thing Marvel ever could do, really. I hope they keep on doing this kind of thing, maybe inviting Daniel Claus or Charles Burns to make a Marvel comic. That would be fucking awesome, don't you think, really? And then last, I got this Wilson by Daniel Claus, speaking of the devil. And I actually not read this, but I've seen a movie, and the movie is quite good. But I think this will be better, because Daniel Claus never really disappoints you, but, well, he has sometimes, but I don't think so. No, but that's all. I hope you have a great time, and see you later. Bye bye.